Thank you, Blackie. Let's hear it for those guys.
Thanks, Blackie. That was really fun, man. Yep. All right.
All right, so I'm going to get a couple more quick donations in here. I have $202 from an anonymous donor who says, thank you to all the runners for their time and dedication. My wife is being treated for cancer, and thanks to research, it looks like she's going to get a 100% completion cancer-free. Congratulations, man. And with that one quick one, AGDQ 2018. Let's hear it for Turbo Gilman.
Thank you.
Working the kinks out, it's cool.
All right. Oh, we're live? Okay.
Professionalism.
Yeah.
So we're playing in hard difficulty, and the character we're going to choose is Raph. Or
Sorry.
we're going to reset.
Sorry.
Reset starts with the same letter as Raph. That's okay.
Exactly.
Introduce yourself, Turbo.
Oh, yeah, I'm Turbo Gilman. I love the mess out of this game, and the turtles for that matter. On the couch we have L-Rock. How's
everybody doing?
We have Cypherin behind me, and on the other end we've got Mike Uyama. So shout
Let's
out
kick
to
some shell. As Mike pointed out, we are going to be playing Raph for this run, and we'll get to why here in just a few moments.
Yeah. You can do
It'll be
the
a lot more
countdown,
apparent
Turbo.
once the it's SDA, so character control. So we'll get there.
Are we gonna watch the intro or not? What do you
No,
think?
we're not going to
Nah,
watch that.
nah, it's fast, man. All right,
You don't want to see the rip shredder?
Three. Well,
3, 2, 1, go.
All right. All right.
So, as I was saying, this is Raphael. Some of you know what he looks like, and if you don't, well, now you do. Raph is, without a doubt, the best character in this game for a multitude of reasons. One, his movement speed is lightning fast. He's twice as fast as the second fastest character. He moves at an astonishing walk speed of 3 pixels per second, and his run speed probably somewhere around triples that. And in this game, you're going to be running a lot, because this game, unlike other games similar to it, has a built-in run button. So lots of holding forward, mashing C, just to gain distance, do damage, which is the other reason we pick Raph. When he's in run motion, he does more damage than any character in this game by about 40 to 60% more.
Yeah.
It's very significant. He
So-
does. No, it's all you. It's all you.
So, you might notice Raph from Turtles in Time. He's using many of the similar moves. This game, it's not quite a port of Turtles in Time, although the Turtles play very similarly to how they do in Turtles in Time. The big difference is that your specials and dash specials don't actually kill the default foot soldiers or roadkill Rodneys in one hit. So that's why he's frequently, using slides, or he's like jabbing an enemy first and then he's hitting them. So to make sure that the foot soldiers die. One other difference with this game is that there's no screen throw, because no mode 7, I guess. And you do still have the slam throw, but it's not as good because you don't actually kill the foot soldiers you hit with the slam. Only the foot soldier that you slam itself will die from the slam. So it's very rare that Turbo will use the slam in this run. So he's mostly going to use flip tackles, which do double the damage of your normal tackle. And he will also be using a lot of dash specials and slides, because the slide makes you travel faster and does decent damage. It kills most foot soldiers in 2 hits. And the dash special is just one of your most powerful attacks that hits multiple foot soldiers at once.
Slide is also invincible the entire time it's out. So getting it through booby traps like falling boulders and balls, like it's actually necessary for that. We'll get to that a bit later, though.
And you'll notice with the tight execution, Turbo will often try to group the enemies as much as
Despawn
possible.
coming here.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. That guy decided to not play ball. You can despawn the yellow soldier. It's kind of tricky. You have to kill the 3 red guys that pop out of the car almost immediately, but that guy decided to flank and be that guy, so couldn't really do a whole lot about that. Not a huge deal. Still took care of him. And as Mike was pointing out regarding the damage, the actual reason you can't kill most things in one hit like you can in Turtles in Time is actually because the foot soldiers got a health buff. They have 17 HP in this game as opposed to 16, because I guess Raph was too overpowered, so they made him kill characters in 2 hits instead of 1.
I was actually wondering if it was a health buff or they decreased the damage.
Yeah, everything does the same damage. Raph's special, Raph's dash kick, both still do 16, but all foot soldiers have 17.
Yeah.
But that's consistent amongst all foot soldiers except those that despawn themselves, like the guys that they're not in this game. In Turtles in Time, they got it through bombs. That philosophy. There are guys in here that have flame breath that same
die in one hit?
Yes. They're basically minions.
So Elrock, Donatello being my favorite turtle, why is he like a handicap compared to Raph?
Slow. His damage while he's in run is good, but unfortunately his actual movement speed is very under par.
Yeah, and also his attacks aren't as powerful as Raphael. So the big reason for Raphael, even if he wasn't the fastest, you'd still probably use him just because his damage is so high. He's the glass cannon of this game, so the turtles actually all have different health values. Raphael has half the health of the highest health turtle, which is Michelangelo. But that doesn't really matter too much in a speed run, just because if you know what you're doing, you can just kill everything super fast.
It's just all positioning from here, knowing where you need to be. And believe it or not, this game, for a beat 'em up, has very, very little RNG. Enemy spawns are very, very consistent. Behavior once they're on screen, maybe not quite as much, but enemy grouping in this game is so good and powerful that it generally doesn't matter. So here we're going to come to our first boss, who's going to be Leatherhead, also reported over from Turtles in Time, but the boss fight's going to behave a little bit differently. In this game, every time you hit Leatherhead 4 times in a row, it doesn't matter what 4 hits, he's going to spawn to the other side of the screen like so. That's also completely invincible on startup, so you want to be well out of the way of the crawl, which unfortunately took some damage there. So the goal is just for your 4 hits, just do as much damage as you possibly can. So the flip tackle, doing 20 damage, is very significant for that. Oh, that's
shell shot.
One last hit for Leatherhead there while he does the thriller dance, and because it's an alligator in a Turtles game, he's gonna explode.
And you might be wondering why he was taking so much risk there to like lower his health. The reason why is that there's a health countdown at the end, and the less health you have, the shorter that is.
Can I make one quick announcement, if
Sure.
you don't mind? I just want to let everybody know we're going to be cutting off the bid war for the Battletoads in about 10 minutes here. So if you want to see Zitz or Pimple overtake Rash, or if you want to reinforce Rash's lead, go ahead and get your donations in now. Don't wait till the last minute. Sorry, guys.
No, it's actually perfect because this is an auto-scroller, so it's a perfect time for donations. If you haven't need to read.
Well then, I can help you out with that one. All right, so I have $50 from Andaj91, who says, "Let's kick Kansas tail. Good luck to all the runners." Thank you, Andaj.
Thank you.
I have $25 from Noble, who says, "Bob the Ninja Goldfish. Hey, I know that guy. Great to hear you made it to GDQ again and have some money. And this might make me a little bit unpopular in the room, but for the Alliance."
For the Horde.
I'm more of a Kazmadan guy. The rest of the Alliance can go to hell. Hey, man, I'm a dwarf through and through. What can I say? I drink a lot and I hold grudges.
That's fair.
Evil Wrath gives $10 and says, "Taking away people's coffee, that's truly evil and a cause I can get behind. Money goes to Superman 64 because..."
So here we have as designated our mysterious ghost ship. Why there's that in a Turtles game, I'm sure was in an episode, but I missed out on that. That explosive you see at the top is completely worthless. We're not going to use it because you have to manipulate enemies to go up there, and why would you do that when you can just run at them?
Yeah, it's not
do all
like
kinds of damage.
Turtles in Time where it just hits the entire screen.
Yeah, unfortunate. Though you do see a bit more in this game. That pizza won't even need either. This section is, I've run this game quite a number of times myself. This section of Coming King here is one of my least favorites. It's incredibly dangerous. You have plank boards, which you're familiar with from Skull and Crossbones.
Yeah.
But the problem is not so much this one, but this one right here. You have that plank board all the way on the left, and that's where all the enemies spawn. So making sure you can get your run triggers like this can be a real pain sometimes. There we go. Good stuff there. Here we have wave of foot soldiers. We'll talk a little bit here about Slide. As I mentioned before, Slide is completely invincible. Upcoming in our next section, we're going to have some falling obstacles that do quite a bit of damage, especially because you're Wrath. So we'll see if we can get past these. Well, that gets a good chuck in the face first. There we go. Yep, there you go. Right through the breach. Also coming soon, we have a first appearance from one of our enemies. They behave a little bit differently in this game. We have the Stone Warriors. You can't throw them in this game. You can only attack them with melee. But with running, you can still do a significant amount of damage to them, and you can keep them in stun lock with running, slides, and/or kicks.
Yeah,
See that here.
how the stun works in this game is a lot different than how it works in the Super Nintendo. It's not nearly as long. It's not nearly as pronounced.
But that's okay because Raph's really fast. He can compensate for the time.
So there's something kind of funny about this stage. I think there's, what, 3 pizzas in this stage?
It's a pretty decent amount. It's like 2, I think, on hard, but
Yeah.
it's pretty exorbitant on the treats, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And then they're like, hey, we put too many pizzas in stage 2. Let's just
Let's not give you any more later.
Exactly.
Nice squad kill there. Those are kind of hard to set up in this game because, as Mike mentioned, they don't kill every enemy on screen, guaranteed. You have to actually set it up. Nice last use of life there.
Nice group, yeah.
For sure. Should have a few more of these guys out of the way before we get to our first pizza. It's coming up in a section where there are falling spikes, so you kind of have to be wary. There's also some guys with shields, but they get hit by running attacks just like anybody else. And nice.
He's good.
Good collect. Booyah. Give him the business, give him the kicks. Yo, dog, I wear kicks. Want to look at him?
So do you still need to slide or tackle the shield foot soldiers?
No, you can, any run attack works.
Yeah.
The dash kick works too. It's pretty effective. Melee attacks still don't, but I mean, if you're Wrath, you're not jabbing people. Would have missed there, but hardly a big deal.
Yeah, there's 1cc strats.
Hey, you're going for score attack, don't forget.
Well, I always go for score attack. 1k points every time you beat this game it feels good.
Those
every time.
purple soldiers are actually really annoying. We'll see them a bit later, but they have projectiles. Here we have casually one of the hardest bosses in the game. Rocksteady has, this is probably the hardest Rocksteady ever. He actually has a bit of a broken hitbox.
Even more so than the NES TMNT, the arcade game.
I'll put it to you this way, when he kicks at you, which he just showed right there, he has a hitbox behind him. So you can't sneak up behind him and start doing dash attacks. He actually will, like, I don't know if it's his back pocket has a loaded gun in it, I don't know, but it can just hit you for whatever reason. But still, same 4 attacks you do with Leatherhead. Make sure you flip to the other side. Yeah. And that's going to clean him up real quick.
Yeah. Shout outs to Baze on that. Also, this is my favorite line in the game. Remember when I see you next time, I'll beat you. So he's alluding to the inevitable boss rush that's coming later.
Foreshadowing in a Turtles game? Wait a minute. Wait a second.
Dun, dun, dun.
Here we have maybe the coolest stage in the game. All original music.
Yeah, so the music in this game is mostly ported Turtles and Time tracks, but this is one of 3 tracks that's actually original. And I definitely say this track and the track after it are the best tracks in the game.
I can agree with that. They're quite,
me
quite
too.
strong. Not too much on the horizon of new enemies here. We will see our first single hit point foot soldiers, which in this game it's actually faster to clear them out because then you get to just scroll the screen quicker. I don't know what Roadkill Rodney's doing in a Ninja Castle either, because Foot Clan, I suppose. Here we have these guys. Since Raph's so fast, he can generally get over there and just take care of them like that.
Hello, Gilman. Do you know someone called Veeks?
Yes, I do. Shout outs to Beaks.
He's donated and said, you are a man of many talents.
My man.
Keep hodling, yes, I'm calling you out, hodling it down for SBY. Glad to see the Rockstar hairs back.
Yeah.
Good luck on the run.
Yo, shout outs to Beaks. Thanks, bud.
A few more enemies here. I always love that this is the stage they chose to like really abuse the mechanic of the manhole cover, just because they just pop out of the ground. It just looks so silly. It's like stone tablets. Okay. Now you saw Mousers there. That's the first time we've seen them this game. They will actually become quite a threat a bit later, but again, we'll get to that. Great stage here. Homage to the NES version of TMNT2 with the Ninja Castle. Very, very similar. It also has some of the most dangerous sections in the game. This one's kind of annoying, but this one's only bad if you jump. If you see those spikes in the ceiling, that can tag you if you decide to jump, but you're Raph, why would you jump? You're not doing extra damage while you're jumping. And here we have where the slide's gonna come in. These candles, spikes, not sure what you call them, have
Bamboo shoots.
Bamboo shoots. They, thank you for that correction. They have a really large hitbox that guarantees knockdown, so you lose a lot of time if you get tagged. So using slide through there to use those foot soldiers is exactly where you want to be. And with those yellow guys there too, it's even more annoying because they zone like crazy. They're basically just dropping air fireballs on you. Couple more duders here. We got a little bit of time for our next trap. Is there any donations that like to be read off?
Yeah. Okay. I have $150 from Mr. Man, who says, I'm loving the Turtles runs. My cousin's mother-in-law has been fighting cancer for years and had a close call with cancer 2 days ago. Looking forward to the day cancer is eradicated. Good luck to the runners and looking forward to the rest of the show.
Thank you.
$50 from Wisconsinman, who merely says, pizza's all right for breakfast, right?
I mean,
I'm gonna say
He
yes.
had some for breakfast.
So there's something to mention about this part. This is one of the few parts where he might actually use a slam throw, just because the invincibility is so convenient here for dealing with these lasers.
Yeah, same with the slide. That's also one of the few sections where playing on hard is very prominent because the lasers spawn and alternate much, much faster on this difficulty than on lower ones. Makes it kind of frustrating. But that'll clear us out into our boss.
Yes.
What's an interesting boss here? Very unique Tatsu.
This guy is such a jerk.
So this boss is either really hard or really dumb and trivial and easy. And it all depends on how well you can dash special.
Yeah, dash kick hits him twice at a time for 16 times each, so 32 damage for dash kick. And much like our other first two bosses, 4 hits alternates from the other side. So it's just all about run, get in there, and finish it up.
I
Good boss
lose,
fight,
I
though.
lose
Good
like
boss
3
fight.
lives
Yeah.
against this guy. Great fight, Turbo. Great fight.
Shoutouts to the Buddha Shredder in the back, too.
Oh, yeah.
The Shredder needs 8 more
yeah.
arms.
And this is absolutely your last chance to donate for your Battletoad Toad of choice.
Touchdown!
And coincidentally, the last time for donations, pretty much this whole level until
All right.
Baxter.
Yeah,
You just
it's a
tell me
boss
when to stop, because I'm going to keep going.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so I've got $30 from Zamora Guys, who says, shout out to my good friend Matt, one of the coolest dudes I know. Let's kick shell, Matty.
Fuck yeah. Oh, sorry. My bad, fam.
That was some very unturtles-like behavior right there.
Cherrick
Shell
says,
shot.
No, he's ref. He's ref.
Oh yeah, that's true. He's rude.
Yeah, cool but rude.
he is
Okay,
cool
you're
but
right. He's
crude,
just role
yep.
playing.
$20 from Evil
J
J says, it's second time donating this
Oh, we
marathon.
don't swear.
AGDQ has become something of a yearly tradition for myself. Watching it all week long during a very purposely scheduled vacation, I can't think of anything I'd rather be doing. Plus, who doesn't like to see PJ suffer? Put it all towards Rash. We have $50 from Cherrick, who merely says, the ultimate awful game? Yes, please. If you think Superman 64 is the ultimate awful game, watch Awful Games Block, because there'll be a lot of people saying, hold my beer. So, $150 from Wootwee, who says, sadly I'll be traveling, but wanted to donate for GDQ. Putting my money towards Superman 64 any percent. Find that sometimes the worst games make for the silliest and fun speedruns. We have Saki, who donates $10 and says, the one game to include a human mover character, and it's not Vanilla Ice? For shame. Ice, baby!
So true.
Wasted talent.
Yay,
wasted talent.
kick is a fair move from Rocksteady.
Oh,
See what I mean?
We've got a bit of a gauntlet thrown down here. $20 from Jamzar Steel, who says, turtles are good, but toads are better. I don't think we're going to have to see that. AGDQ record setter. Green doesn't go for zits. He's like cancer-free as the pit. I could be a fan of Rash. He's okay, but gets no cash. It could be that one George Pie Pimple. Silly name, but kind of simple. Instead, like Emerald, bam! Psych, put this for Superman. You put me through all that for Superman? Really?
Welcome to Awful Games Block.
Games.
All right, so as you saw the boss rush there, really not much difference there in those boss fights. They have a little bit more health, and you don't get access to pizza, so you have to limit your specials. Here we have probably the most annoying boss in the game, Baxter Stockman. This is going to look very similar for anyone who's ever been in an arcade. The fight, however, goes a little bit differently. You don't have the jump slash with an air hitbox like you do in those games. For this game, you still have to take to the air, but that's not exactly Raph's strength. You do have a couple of options. On the ground, you can do a special, that spin kick you see there, which can connect with him. The downside is if it connects with a mouser, you still lose the health and don't get to hit Baxter, unless, of course, you also simultaneously hit Baxter. The other downside is the mousers are incredibly strong in the air. As you can see, they anti-air like it's going out of style. They just drag and punch for free. It's actually really obnoxious. You really lose a lot of time here. It's not really RNG based. It's just that it's one of those cases where your execution needs to be there. Just don't miss it. But still a good fight. Yeah, very, very good fight there.
Yeah, and during the Rocksteady fight, I intentionally took the shell shock so that I would have specials, but I still took a ton of damage when I fought him.
It was the right call for sure.
Yeah.
You want to have as much health as you can going into Baxter. It's a very annoying fight for sure.
Teleporting ninjas.
So speaking of lack of pizzas, if I remember correctly, this stage doesn't have any.
In this room, you are correct. But when you get to the elevator, there's one.
Yeah, there's
right.
one in the elevator.
So for this stage, this one is to me the true gauntlet because you don't have too many bosses to deal with, but you have just this gigantic wave of every single enemy you've seen, including one new one, which we'll get to here in just a moment. Monsters aren't that big a deal as long as you can fight them on the ground. As we're doing your slide, cuts through them like
There's some
butter.
traps coming up too.
Yeah, got a couple here and there, which we'll definitely get into that. See if you can kill in a row. 4, very nice.
That's good.
4 is excellent there. The most I've seen with one single slide. Good setup. Got these mousers here. I believe it was Mike that mentioned there was no pizza in this room. We can actually deviate away from the pizza by singing about it. What do you think, Turbo?
Oh, I'm totally
Sing about
down.
some pizza? A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Growing up in a glass bowl, millions lizards and tadpoles. Hardly enters your mind that there's something better than this. Lettuce leaf or a carrot, maybe a seed from a parrot. Believe it when I tell you the word gourmet just don't exist. But pizza power, flying stars to food delight. Pizza power, well, that's what makes us feel alright. Ba-dum-bum.
Oh, dear God. Thank you so much for that.
Oh, man.
Beautiful, sir. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Just pulled at my heart, sir.
Speaking of which, what a jerk with that fireball right in the chest. More foot soldiers here. Some of these guys forgot their laundry, so they're going to pop out of this chute here. More just all grouping. Raph's going to run a lot. You'd think he would need to do cardio, but I guess not if he just gets to, bump his shoulder and everything and not put a bandage on it.
So there is one thing about that flip tackle. You do have a limited time frame to do it, and if you screw it up, you'd end up doing a slide instead.
Which is unfortunate because slide does cause knockdown.
Yeah.
Because you want the flip tackle is the only one-hit kill move in the game. So you have to make as much opportunity out of it as you can. This is also going to look familiar to Turtles Arcade fans. These freeze rays are obnoxious because you have to pace yourself around the screen. And foot soldiers have this habit of hanging out where they know one's going to spawn. They're just like, yeah. Pretty weak.
And that's the first run in 2 weeks that I've had with without getting hit by ice.
Nice.
That was good, yeah, for sure. More sliding to avoid these balls. If you guys like the zone, they're going to be a bit obnoxious here. We've actually got a small amount of time before the boss. We have time for a single donation?
Actually, I want to make a quick announcement.
Certainly.
We did just add a new donation incentive for the Secret of Evermore run.
Hey.
Now, for those of you who are familiar with Meta Sigma's stream, there's a certain chicken with a certain theme song in mind. And if we meet the donation of about $20,000, Meta Sigma is going to sing the Lobotomy Chicken song during his
Yo.
run. So,
Get your wallets out.
if you've ever wanted to hear Meta Sigma
No issues there.
sing a song, now is the time.
So one thing about deaths in this game is that they're not very costly for time, as long as you're not knocked out of the air.
Truth.
Yeah.
Truth. And I've actually never even seen a deathless run of this game because a lot of special abuse really comes from that.
Yeah, and there's just a lack of pizzas overall.
Truth, especially on this difficulty. So here we have my favorite boss fight in the game. Here we have Krang. Also similar to Turtles in Time with one major difference. You can actually run in this fight because you're not tethered to a hoverboard. So there's actually a quick kill associated with this fight, which Baze actually really unlocked the key on. We're going to get 3 cycles here of dash kicks that are going to hit multiple times a piece. Perfect execution there. It was a phenomenal quick kill. Now, the interesting thing about that fight is when I
There's
was
a health trigger.
Right. When I was first practicing it, I would just hit him 6 times to get him to go into fly state because, I mean, that's as many hits as it takes. But I thought it was, oh, there's no pizza. Look at me being wrong. I'm so good. You miss the trigger by doing too much damage. Like, I would do like 6 shoulders, but then for the last cycle, he would go invincible and drop bombs, and you don't want that. You want to hit him for as little damage as you can so you can max out the damage on your kicks and, mitigate time loss.
Yeah, there's just, when he gets below a certain point of health, he will go into invincible mode, so the dash kicks help prevent that from happening just because they do so much damage.
Through that. And for it to beat him up, we have an elevator section
Yep.
here, which is also going to look very similar. This one's interesting. It moves a bit slower than your standard elevator, I think. And the enemies spawn out of the doors really slow, which I've never been a huge fan of. So you've got some Rodney Dooders here. They alternate the number of robots that come out of the door. It's 1, then 2, then 2, then 1. So you want to make sure you got your shoulder tackle ready on both sides, because it's also, much like for foot soldiers, it's the only attack that kills them in 1 hit, so you just want to make sure you're there. Little Mouser's floor here. There's 3 waves. Slide's going to take care of everything it needs to. Raph's getting his circus act on. That's cool. Slides in here.
1K.
There we go.
Nice.
Score attack, boys.
So it's actually good for marathon safety to do a score attack because you get lives every 300 points.
It's actually first 100 points and every 200 points after that.
Oh, really?
So it's 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. It's a weird algorithm, but that's how it works in this game. Whereas in Turtles in Time, it's like just static.
It's just every 200.
So for this last section of enemies, they actually start spawning immediately. The goal is you want to kill all 3 waves before it reaches not the next door, because that one doesn't open, but there's a door right after that. If you don't kill them by then, it waits till the next door and you lose a cycle. So making sure to take care of all of them, which he was able to do, is very, very crucial. So we're going to move on here to our final boss. Now there's a bit of RNG associated with Super Shredder, but with good execution, making sure Slides get in there, which Slide is very, very important in this fight because it invincibles through any of his attacks. As long as you can keep those damage cycles going, it doesn't matter what he does because Slide goes through all of it. So we're going to see quite a bit of slippies here coming up in a second. Got your ice, got your fire, got your mutagen, and time will be when Shredder cascades over the side of the balcony. So we'll call that here soon. It takes about a 5-6 cycle fight. It's not long. Good damage output there. Good stuff there. And time. 24-22. That is an incredible time.
That's a good
That's
time.
a really good time.
That's within a minute of your PB. So yeah, that's really good. Shredder cascades down the cliff. I was like, there's a word there. I don't know what it is. I sung them all away. My vocabulary's gone. And here we have Splinter just chilling out in the daytime New York City, like, you know, no one cares if there's a giant rat. Oh my God, giant rat!
And a small little interesting thing about hard mode is that when you beat the game, we'll see the next scene, and we'll see a collage of the Turtles portraits as well.
Which is actually one of my favorite things in the game. The Genesis art design for this game is actually pretty understated. It looks really neat.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the portraits are insane looking.
Turtle
Pizza
power.
Oh, that's the same as the Super Nintendo version, actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
And look, for all the work Raph did, he's about to fall over the edge. And
Yeah.
So, do you have any final shout-outs, Turbo, before we go on to Battletoads Arcade?
First of all, shout-outs to AGDQ and this opportunity to be here and show off one of my favorite games of all time. And also shout-outs to Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird and Konami for producing a great game. And all my friends and family who helped me get here. I appreciate everyone's support and had a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Give it up for that awesome run. Let's hear it one more time, guys. All right. I've got $25 from Kaj, who says, from my sister, dad, and girlfriend's mom, and anyone else that is fighting. I can hope we can kick against ass as fast as the runners can run games. Love all the games being run, and thank everybody running and donating. We can all change the world somehow. And as you know, we did cut off the choice of Toad. Got my words mixed up there. During that last set, and Rash did come out on top. So we're going to be seeing the comeback kid himself, Rash, being run here in the arcade. $64 from an anonymous donator who merely says 64 for 64. $50 anonymous donation that says, hi AGDQ. Come on, at least say hi back. Nah, let's do that better. Hi AGDQ. There we go. I like that. Who was that? You get applause. Long-time follower of yours, but due to a busy family life, it's the first time I've ever been able to watch live. And it's so good to do with my kids. Lelio, who's 5, is a huge fan of TMNT. This way we can talk about video games and life. Since alas, we lost 2 uncles to cancer in the past year, and a 3rd one is about to pass. So on behalf of all the family, thank you for organizing this useful and joyful event every year, and good luck to all the runners. $20 from Daiche Azur, who says, turtles are rad, toads are good, but Superman will keep all the cakes from Les Luthor. An update on that, we are at 16,000 out of 30,000 to meet Superman 64. It would make my day if we could meet Superman before I get off shift after the NES Battletoads. So let's get to work on meeting that, guys. We can do this. Furret Skin donates $50 as Act 1 is RNG, Act 2 is stupid glitches, Act 3 is story time, Act 4 doesn't exist, and now we're gonna get to hear Meta sing. We've got more going on with the hashtag Take My Coffee. Chi-Chi donates $5, says, I don't drink coffee, so here's my tea. $10 from J-Man. Hashtag Take My Coffee. Been watching a long time, and cancer took my mother-in-law, so let's sacrifice that morning coffee and kill cancer. Keep up the amazing work, guys and gals. This money goes to Runner's Choice. $50 from Sean M says, been watching and donating every GDQ, but this is my first time I have someone with cancer in my life. My dad was diagnosed with it a few weeks ago. The NES block is always my favorite block because I grew up playing the NES. It taught me one valuable lesson that everyone watching should keep in mind. Whether they or family member are battling cancer, just like these NES games, keep persevering and fighting through it, and eventually you'll defeat it. Stay strong, everyone. Thanks to everybody involved in this amazing event. Havoc160 sends $20 to the pot and says, the NES block is always my favorite block of GDQ. I've never beat TMNT as a kid. I can't wait to see it get destroyed. An anonymous $5 donor says, I don't have much to give, but I guess I can skip that coffee tomorrow morning. Do not feel bad if you don't have much to give. Don't feel bad if you have nothing to give. Just get out there and spread the word about the marathon. Let's get eyes on what we're doing here, and other people may be able to help out. Don't worry about that at all. Just get in the chat and enjoy yourself. $5 from Kenzie, merely saying, I'm donating so I can hear the announcer say nibbly pibblies. Okay. You heard nibbly pibblies. All right. I think I heard PJ yell from the other side of the building that he's okay. So we're ready to go? Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for PJ. Ladies and gentlemen, Hydro Electronics, and I'm going to hand it over to PJ.
All right, hey everybody. Stop in time. All right, who am I using?
The comeback kid himself, Rash.
Alrighty.
All right, this will be a lot of fun. All right, thanks guys for all your donations towards this bid war. I'm really glad you picked Rash because he's easily the most volatile. So he's either just going to completely steamroll things or just get murdered. And it's going to be entertaining either way, so it should be good. I'm PJ, and I'm going to be joined here by Mecha Richter, TMR. Yes!
Nailed it.
And Clage. And so, I think I think we're good to go. Yeah. All right. 3, 2, 1. Stopping time. All right. So Battletoads Arcade is the fifth and final Battletoads game. It's released in '94, and up until very recently, there was no way to play this game outside of arcades. There was no home release. But it was included in the Rare Replay collection, which was released some years ago for the Xbox One. So if you're interested in playing this game, if it looks fun to you, then you can go ahead and jump for that. One quick note is that I am playing this on original hardware. I have the board and all the other stuff sitting just to the right of me, hopefully not catching on fire. And I am playing on maximum difficulty, which is a difficulty that is not accessible on the Xbox One version. And that just means that basically if I get hit, I will lose about 80% of my health. And recovering health is not a thing that you can really do in this game. Nice. All right, so this is your standard Battletoads game. You've got a dash attack.